I am currently at Superbooth, the world's largest synth event, and I'm gonna take you on a synth journey today. Superbooth is not just a synth event, it's a place where you can actually meet your friends and you can make new friends. It's just a magical place where there's synths around every single corner here in this beautiful park here in Berlin. Wait. And speaking about meeting like-minded people, I just want to introduce two people here. So this is Stefan.
Hi, hi.
And this is Christian.
Hello.
And they run the store Uns, which you might have seen on my channel before. And they helped me get here, sponsored my trip. It's basically a store focusing a lot on synths from smaller manufacturers, from indie developers.
So, for example, the Metal Fetishist from BodySynth, the Svenigizer from Analog Sweden, and Fine Gear.
And body synths you actually found here.
Yeah,
at Superbooth.
Exactly.
So we're here for the same reason, to find those golden nuggets that you talked about, finding those special synths, especially from small manufacturers, and that's going to be a focus in today's video. So if you go to unsunds.com, there is a sale going on, a Superbooth sale, and you have a bunch of synths and you get 10% off. So before Superbooth, I got an email about a synth called
the Melancholytron, because it only makes melancholic sounds.
So can you tell us a little bit about this synthesizer?
Yes, actually it's about this book. This book is called the Melancholytron, and when you get this book, you get the synthesizer for free with it. This book is about melancholy. I have here a list of different kinds of melancholy, and also with the groups of presets that belong to that. For example, you have the melancholy of missed opportunities. The question I get a lot, why did you make this? I think I made this because several reasons. One of the reasons is that I think that modern synthesizers can do too much. Because if your synthesizer, it shouts to you, I can do anything you want, and then you don't know what you want anymore. And the other thing is that I just really am a moody person.
First day of Superbooth, seen anything fun? Anything that excites you?
The coolest thing I saw is not a new product. It's actually that cello that...
Soma.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's called Avena.
I was going to ask if you had seen that when I walked by it.
I
said,
played it for a while and I was like, this feels great.
How about you, Jorb?
The Frap tools, Magnolia. I like big
Yeah.
poly synths. I like the sort of hybrid East Coast, West Coast thing.
You were digging deep on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am here with Frap tools, and you have the Magnolia here.
That's right.
This keyboard was born from our modular synthesizer that's currently on my left. We've been making modules for 10 years now, analog designs, drawing from the West Coast tradition. Yeah. So we have complex oscillators, complex filters, and then as the many modular manufacturers of the past, we said, well, probably it's time to pack everything together in an instrument for those people who don't play modular and want to access those sounds. Yeah. And so we made a polyphonic keyboard synthesizer whose 8 voice cards draw from the very modules that we developed.
So I am here
Together.
with yeah,
I am here with
Neuzeit Instruments.
Yeah.
And they have a really cool MIDI controller to show us.
Yes.
So let's take a look at it.
I would call it a MIDI control center, as it's way more than just a MIDI controller,
Right.
especially made for live setups. So if you're a live artist who has a setup mainly with hardware like this one, with Eurorack and some Eurorack boxes and some Electron boxes, for example, then this might be a really cool thing for you. So we have 32 endless encoders. We have 8 faders, mute buttons. These are also pushable. You can map everything to everything, but the highlight is probably that you have snapshots over here.
Oh, right.
That you can save and recall pretty much on the fly or prepare your set.
Yeah.
And whenever I push a snapshot, you see that the values are changing as well as the sound.
So these are CC values.
This can be anything, mostly CC. but you
Mostly
can-
CC, but what could else be?
Note on, note off, pitch band, 14-bit CCs,
Right.
NRPNs, aftertouch, whatever you want. Everything but Sys.
So basically, if we decide that one of the knobs is like the cutoff
Yeah.
of maybe one or more tracks, for example, you could save the state here.
Yeah, you can save either, if I just push save, everything that's green goes into the snapshot. I push next. I can select which controls I want to save or deselect. As this is a bit tedious in live situation, you can also have pre-selected groups. So this would only be my bass part, my hi-hats, synth voice 1, synth voice 2, whatnot. I just push the button and now it's saved and I can recall it anytime. Pushing the buttons on the fly is nice, but when I turn up this knob, I introduce a small fade time. So now, when I push the next snapshot, it slowly transitions to the snapshot. So these are moving bit by bit. I have a countdown here.
So you can actually see when the transition
Yeah.
is happening to the
Yeah.
new state.
Yeah. So right now, best case scenario, we are in a club, hands are in the air, and
Yeah.
somehow I now have only 2 hands to get out of the situation that I
Exactly.
created. So what do? I can try it by hand, probably I will miss something, but I can also go to the drop mode and just schedule the next snapshot that will be executed when this clock reaches the top. So I have my hands free now,
Yeah.
and
Nice.
we're back on in the next state. Yeah.
Let's go.
So it's pretty much for the lazy live performer.
Yeah.
So let's do another build up maybe. I can also intersect while I'm doing it. It doesn't always need to be automated. I can mess it up, try something different, go to drop mode, schedule the next one. And I'm back on safe ground. Yeah.
That's really cool.
So we have 4 MIDI in, MIDI out pairs.
And I love that you put the labeling upside down.
Yeah, because that's the way you're looking at
Exactly,
it.
that's the way you're looking at it. That makes a ton of
Yeah.
sense.
We also have 2 CV outs, CV ins,
course,
mainly for clock signals, so that you can also output and sync to external clocks, and 2 USB-C jacks. You can also run from USB-C, but also from external devices, external power supply,
Sure.
to suppress noise loops and all that kind of stuff that comes with setups like these. And these have they automatically detect device or host mode, so you can connect a computer, or you can connect other MIDI controllers,
Yeah.
like this little cheesy keyboard here.
Yeah, so it's easy to put in another keyboard or
Yeah.
even additional controls.
Yeah.
Could you even put 2 of them together?
Yes, you can link them.
Of
so
course
that
you can. Of course you
send it,
can.
yeah.
So I found the voice, and I'm happy to say that it's no fake.
Are you sure about that?
Could be AI. Do you love drum machines? I love drum machines. So we're gonna go and check out the new Vermona drum machine. So everything here is part of the drum machine, right? And this is the voice part, and this is the sequencer part, or sampler part.
This is the analog voice. The analog voice consists out of VCO with modulation, a VCF, and of course the audio mixer and the noise source. This analog voice is to be sampled into one of 6 sample slots.
So you can make bass drums, snare drums, tonal stuff, bass sounds.
Very easy, for example.
And then you sample into here.
Yeah, I can create a bass drum like that. And then I simply sample it.
That's sampled?
Yeah.
Sorry.
This is the live voice. And if you like the sound, you can simply sample it, holding a key, sample it. And now it's in your project. And then you can use these samples inside of your performance sequencer. You have 6 tracks and you have 64 steps per track.
And you can also have multiple samples per project. So you're not limited to these samples.
You can have 16 samples per project at the time, and this should be fine for most percussive.
Can you lock different samples to different steps?
Yes.
This is so weird when you're walking through the forest here and somebody's just sitting there promoting their new little groove box, I guess it is. So next up I'm heading over to Korg to check out their Phase8, and I do think they've added some new things to it and it's slowly getting ready for release. So yeah, I'm kind of curious to hear also what the price will be.
So this is actually the 3rd time we're showing it here at Superbooth, and this time it's pretty much the product. The whole idea is that we're hitting these metal, we call them resonators, with this electromagnetic coil, and just like a hammer in a piano. And I could just, does that make a sound? Okay, this is in a funny setting. I should have prepared this earlier. But the great thing is, just as you just already seen, we can actually physically interfere with how these things sound by actually touching them, placing objects on them. And it features as a main way of playing it, not just hitting the keys, but also a sequencer in it as well. I guess the cool thing is actually how we've merged like the acoustic way of making sound by hitting these metal things with synthesis. So we're still working with this acoustic sound, but we can modulate it in various ways.
Do we know anything about price point on a device like this?
Yeah, we don't actually. but a rough idea would be that we want to keep it under €1,000.
Yeah,
I think that's totally the world we're trying to work with. Yeah.
So I met these 2 fine gentlemen, John and John. And I wanted to ask you, what has been a highlight at Superbooth so far?
I've really enjoyed the Poly-N synth. That was something that really kind of blew me away. My first touch was chaotic, didn't sound very good, but the guy from Poly-N showed me how to use that, and yeah, that was a really nice polyphonic, expressive, interesting instrument. Not heard sounds like that before.
So I really love this new Korg. I've forgotten the name of it now. But
the Phase8.
The Phase8. Yeah, the Phase8 by Korg is so incredible. Just how you can interact with it and the sounds you can get out of it seems really interesting to me.
Hey Mark,
Hey, Bo. Where are we? We're at Superbooth.
Hello.
That's right. I'll go back here.
So I'm not a huge fan of like classic synthesizers, but when you reached out on Instagram about your drum machine, I was kind of interested because there's not really anything like it on the market currently.
I like the CR78 and classic drum machines like that. I wanted something that had that kind of immediacy and vibe, and something that I just wanted to like press play, start making some cool things with, but that had a little more ability to vary the beats, to vary the sound. So we came up with the Beat Friend, which is basically that. It's a fully analog drum machine. All the drum sounds are analog, but then it has digital effects which you can put on top and combine in interesting ways. And also you can vary the complexity of each drum. You can add a little bit of randomness. And it's got a nice fill button for playing classic old school snare fills.
Something I also love about going to Superbooth is that I get to meet a lot of you, the viewers of the channel, fans of the channel's community members. What makes Superbooth special for you?
Oh, it's a beautiful occasion for meeting crazy people like us and people who are connected with the meaning of making adventurous music using very unpredictable instruments.
And what do you think is the difference between people who just use software and us who love hardware so much? Do you think there's a difference there?
That's a good question. I think that the physicality of controllers and the being disconnected from screens makes a difference when you are producing music which is based on sound, on timbres, more than on composition. They are becoming like a sort of a medium which is allowing us to access an area where we don't have to use too much of our thoughts, rationality, to achieve certain results. It's being exposed to the unexpected, which is creating unexpected reactions, which are driving us to places where we probably haven't been before.
One of the things I love the most about Superbooth is that you never know quite what to expect and what to find here.
So this is Antelope. This is a pseudo drum machine. It's composed of 3 main sections. So you have a self-oscillating filter, which is the core of a kick-generating sound or dual oscillator sound. Then you have a distortion section, effect section based on spin FV1, so you have 7 or 8 algorithms. And then you have a control section here, which is the main core of the drum machine. It's a trigger, envelope trigger with a pattern recorder.
So basically this surface acts as a cross modulation?
Yeah, cross modulation for the envelopes, for the envelope values. So you can either play just with your hands.
See the synth nerd in their natural habitat. So I'm here with the Micro Rack, and they have something quite unusual. I've never seen anything like it before, and honestly, I'm a little intimidated by it. Is it a bomb? Is it not a bomb?
Yeah, a lot of people ask on the TSA in the airport, actually, what is this thing? This is just a modular synth, a usual synth that you are used to, but in a super small and cheap format. I mean, it's using small, tiny silicone cables. It's using small, tiny header pins on the modules, and the similar ports that you see everywhere. So yes, basically it's Eurorack compatible system with 12 and -12 power, 5, -5 signals.
Because you
levels.
can mount this entire thing into the
Yes,
Eurorack.
the thing is, I'm holding in my hand, it's a chassis that at the same time we can use it just as a Eurorack add-on, as a chassis for Eurorack, or as a standalone device. So you can add the power from Eurorack with these IDC connectors, or you can use it with Type-C or DC input from any source you have.
And one thing that confused me was, like, I was thinking, oh yeah, so I need to be able to program, I need to be able to solder.
Nothing at all, no.
But
Actually,
no,
yes, this comes pre-assembled, and it's all analog, so we don't have to program or flash anything. We have a few digital modules.
And could you show me could you show me like the removal process here?
Yeah, sure. You can rearrange things live. Nothing breaks. You can put them even in the wrong way. It will not break anything. So, and you can patch and repatch. Like compared to Eurorack, you can do this 10 times a day. Nobody will never notice. I mean,
so every single little thing here is
removable.
It's a removable little module here.
Yes, it is.
So what does this do, for example?
It's a delay, the typical delay, PT delay, and the platform is open source. So you can make your own modules for this, and no charge. I mean, we will just publish it on our website. You will distribute it if you want. We will mention you. So we would love you to have more open source projects for this platform.
Super. Thank you so much.
Thanks too.
As you can imagine, it is not easy to shoot videos here at Superbooth. While I'm in a beautiful forest, a lot of the area here is very noisy. But I did see a really cool MIDI controller, which was basically a big LCD screen with knobs on it. And so you could actually, like when you were turning the knobs, you could actually see what was going on and what you were affecting. That was really cool. It had, I think, mechanical keys, like computer keys around the screen. That was really cool. I also got to see something that I'm truly hyped about, and that is the Relic. It is this centerpiece sequencer for your DAWless studio setup. I think it's definitely like a little bit too big for like a smaller DAWless setup, but the Relic is just so damn impressive, and yeah, I'm really excited to try one out at home.
So Bo, how has Superbooth been?
A lot of fun, exhausting. Been amazing meeting so many community members and fans. We just did a big meetup for the YouTubers and the YouTube community, and it has been, it's amazing. I think over 150 people showed up, and yeah, it's just been a great event. Somebody asked me, like, talk about Superbooth like with one word, like what's Superbooth for you with one word, and I would say the people. Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot you.
And now I got that on tape.